What is up, all you Minties? This is the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. And join me today as I take an advanced look at these new trade paperbacks from Marvel Comics coming out on February 5th. So please stay tuned. Alright, let's get this started. I love this mix, by the way. We have a little graphic novel for kids, we have an epic collection, and we have trade paperbacks. Now, before I get started, let's do Venom first. I'd like to say a thank you to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us advanced copies. So thank you very much. Let's take a look. So here we have Venom. Even though it says Absolute Carnage, this is the ongoing series by Donny Cates. So this is volume 3, if you're getting these in trade paperback. Now, let's take a look in here without giving any spoilers away, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. But being that I read the entire event, we should be okay. Now, this collects Venom 16 through 19 and Web of Venom Funeral Pyre number 1. All of this, of course, is done by Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, and also Iban Coelho, I think is how you pronounce his name. Here are some variants. By the way, they are putting now the variants in between issues sometimes. So in between covers. So let's look a little bit. Just blown away by some of this Stegman artwork. It's wonderful. If you have not read this event, it is a really kick-ass event, I have to say. It's a good mix of like horror and fun. And somehow Stegman and Cates just feed off of each other and making it work. But not a review of the book. Let's look in the back here. Because the book retails for $15.99. There's some more variants here in the back. Can't show the final page because it is the final page to the storyline. And oh man, that is a creepy Mary Jane variant. It's beautiful though. 112 pages is how many pages this one is. Okay, now we have that one book I was looking at in the solicitations that I was like, whoa, that looks like straight up manga. And I still stand with that statement because it really does. Like, I wouldn't have seen a book like this 20 years ago. We had Joe Mad and Michael Golden and Arthur Adams for things like that. And then eventually, of course, a lot of the 90s artists that developed their art style from anime and manga. But this is Swordmaster. And it focuses on the story of Lin Lai, who was one of the characters that showed up in War of the Realms. This guy right here with the giant sword. So this is his story. And he is a Chinese superhero, and he has his own band of characters that join him too. The story is adapted by Greg Pak, so I don't know if it's an original story, but the creators are, I'm going to butcher these, I'm sure, Suichu, I think, and Gunji. Let me double check that. Suishu. Man, I'm butchering that, I'm so sorry. And Gunji is the artist. So Suishu is the writer and Gunji is the artist. But yes, it reminds me a lot of the, oh my gosh, I used to have a lot of the manhwa, or actually I had some Chinese comics growing up because I was a huge fan of this art style, and still am. That's what it reminds me of. But the colors are all modernized, so they're a lot different than what I'm used to. There's some real nice artwork in here. I'll let Lydia read this and review it. So this collects the A stories of Swordmaster 1 through 6. I'm not sure what the B stories are. Maybe that's the Aero comic coming out later on this month. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite comic books was a Street Fighter comic done by a Chinese team. It was awesome. Let's look at the back here for extras. Here's some variant covers. So this kind of spins out of the War of the Realms universe. That is a cool cover. He gets his own toy cover. The Tyler Christopher covers. This is 136 pages, by the way, and it retails for $17.99. Now, speaking of War of the Realms and series that have spun out of them, here is Agents of Atlas. And of course, you all know how huge of a fan I am of Agents of Atlas, the original series, which is written by Jeff Parker. However, this series is written by Greg Pak. Even though I thought Jeff Parker had something to do with it too. So this collects the first 5 issues of this series. Issues 1 through 5. I don't know if it's still ongoing or not. I've only read the first issue, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah, because we've seen these characters appear in the War of the Realms series. And some of them are actually familiar to us because they've appeared in other comics like Young Avengers and things like that, or have their own series. But here we have a classic Jeff Parker team right here. So we do get that. Awesome. I better not flip too much through here, because I do want to be surprised when I read the rest. First issue was pretty fun. Collecting all 5 of the first series, I guess. I don't know if it's still ongoing or not. This is 130 pages and retails for $15.99. And one more thing I do want to note, in case you are familiar with this character, this is all led by Amadeus Cho. So he is like one of the fan favorites from Greg Pak's Incredible Hulk run. And one of my favorite characters as well. Not just a fan favorite. Let's look in the back. We have variant covers here, opposite of the final page. Scotty Young, still doing what he does. Well, I can't say what he does best, because I was a big fan of his art long before he started doing these baby covers. And then here's Agents of Atlas, the original series, complete collections 1 and 2. If you have not read those, please do. And then where the original Agents of Atlas first appeared in the War of the Realms, new Agents of Atlas. And of course, before we go any further, here's what those spines look like. You can tell the new stuff is always in this white spine. It's what they usually have, with the exception of, like I said, the Dawn of X. Here's that graphic novel. You can tell the size difference just from here. And of course the Epic Collection, always with this classic Marvel Epic Collection logo up here and a black spine. Alright, long before this guy named Garth Ennis took over the Punisher, his arch nemesis, his biggest arch nemesis, not because he doesn't really have the biggest lineup. I just wanted to showcase a little bit back here. It is Volume 5, 1990 to 1991, and retails for $39.99. Was, and probably will always be, Jigsaw. And that's what this Epic Collection is called. It is Volume 5. So this contains the Punisher, the series that kicked off in 1987, issues 35 through 48, annual number 4, and Punisher No Escape number 1, and Punisher The Prize, both of those being one-shot graphic novels. A lot of the artwork in here is provided by Mark Texeira and Bill Reinhold, Jack Slam, and Neil Hansen, and just to name a few. But man, this guy right here, loved his artwork growing up, Mark Texeira, and I really couldn't put my finger on why. And it wasn't until much later that he was inspired a lot by anime and manga, and you can't really tell because of the way that his art is all sketchy. I love that. But you can definitely tell by his layouts and the dynamic poses and just the way the characters move so fluidly. Oh, it's a wonderful art. I love the guy's artwork, and I'm glad that he's still around. And here we have the Jigsaw Puzzle, Part 4 of 6. This is one of my favorite covers. Just because it's the return of this creepy character that almost, I guess he was created by Frank Castle. But let's look a little bit more through here. Again, Mark Texeira. Just an amazing artist, and glad that we still have him around. Because I think he's still drawing comics. Okay, here we go. The Prize. This is the one written by Chris Henderson. Oh, a lot of these, by the way. Like a big chunk of this stuff right here is written by Mike Barron. I forgot to mention that. I pointed the artist out. And here we have Gregory Wright. He's the one that did the first graphic novel, which is No Escape. And then The Prize back here, which is written by Chris Henderson and has artwork by Mike Harris. 496 pages. That's how many pages you have in this amazing Epic Collection. So it's almost 500 pages. That's crazy. I love these things. You all know how much I love Epic Collections. I just unveiled the next 15 coming out in the fourth quarter of 2020. And I'll be giving away some Epic Collections in our giveaway again. If you want to join that giveaway, with also giving away some Omnis and hardcovers, all you have to do is check out the video I posted this past Saturday. Guess the 300th Marvel Masterwork, and anybody can join. It's open to international waters as well. Let's see if there's any pin. Yes, hell yes, there's some Jim Lee pinups back here. Awesome. Another Jim Lee, and then more Epic Collections. No longer Spider-Gwen, now known as Ghost Spider. That's what this book is. This is, and here's where you can get Spider-Gwen. Hopefully one day we'll get an omnibus of that, because they never finished them in oversized hardcover. It is written by Sean and McGuire and Takeshi. Oh, Miyazawa's back. Okay. I always enjoyed Miyazawa's artwork in Runaways and in, what was it that they did? Ultimate Spider-Man. So this collects the first 5 issues of Ghost Spider. As I mentioned, it is the new Spider-Gwen. Well, it's her new title. She's still the same character. It's just she goes by Ghost Spider because I guess Spider-Gwen's kind of a lame name. I don't know. So this is the first 5 issues of this new series that kicked off in 2019. Let's look a little bit more of this artwork that I really, really enjoy. Not sure what the original creators are working on now, but I know that they have a huge fan following because of Spider-Gwen. Now we're looking at the back for extras. This is a beautiful Joe Quesada variant cover. And then some more variant covers back here. That's an awesome one too. This book has 112 pages, and it retails for $15.99, by the way. Now let's look at the last one. Adventures of X-Men. Last but not least, right? These are these tiny little, I don't want to say tiny, they're not that small, but they're smaller size graphic novels geared more towards kids. This book isn't that small though. It's 128 pages. So he collects, back here, I don't know if that's a misprint or not, because this is an X-Men adventure, but it says it collects Spider-Man 1 Magazine 1 through 13 and Spider-Man Magazine Special 1 and 2. So maybe they mean X-Men magazines? I don't know. I never read these because I was... Oh, maybe it does. Okay, so Spider-Man magazine did feature the X-Men. Okay. So these are the comics based on the cartoon, which are based on comics, right? It's kind of weird. But yes, these are the ones that are based on the cartoon, the 90s Fox cartoon that introduced a lot of people to the X-Men for the first time. So these are original stories, not to be confused with the X-Men Adventures, which were the comics based on the cartoon. They were graphic novelizations of the cartoon. But these were original stories created. And like I said, it's mainly geared towards kids, which is awesome. Sometimes I take some of these that Marvel sends me and I take them to the school systems to introduce kids. Because I'm a watchdog. It's a program that I do with my daughters where I go into the school for a day and kind of hang out with the kids and stuff, and I bring comics with me and give the kids some of these. They're a big hit still, which is cool because, I mean, obviously this is a 90s style of artwork and storytelling, but the kids always seem to enjoy it. Spreading love for comic books. That's what I try to do. Now, if you're interested in all these books when they come out on February 5th, you can get them from
cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was the content of each of these books, the page count. Let me know in those comments down below which ones you're picking up, and if you still enjoy me doing it in this format or just focusing on one or two. I do love getting feedback, and I do listen to you all. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Don't forget to join us on our Patreon and on Redbubble to support the channel. Again, on Patreon, we started a new tier. It's the $1 a month tier, where you can vote on one of our old reader, new readers every month. This was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you for watching, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint.